Welcome, I'm John Morgan with 2020, here to share with you tips in our How Did They Do That series from the Inspiration Awards Gallery. In this video, I want to focus on the awesome textures that a lot of the designers use. You'll notice this has a great either real wood texture or maybe it's a textured melamine that's been used not only on the drawers and doors and such, but also the top and bottom of the floating vanity. Let's take a look at how we can do that. We'll go over to our 2020 real quick, and you'll notice that I have a hanging vanity all ready to go. I would like to go and get a real texture to apply. If we go back over to our browser for a moment, you'll see that I have already gone into the search engine and typed in textured melamine panels horizontal. If I wanted them to be vertical, I would have typed in vertical. If I wanted them to be brand specific, I could have typed in that brand. But let's just say that I pick this panel right here. I right click on this panel. I simply say Save Picture As. I want you to notice that I have a folder on my system called 2020 Files. You actually have that same exact folder on your computer as well. But I have created a new folder within that called My Textures. If I were to click on My Textures, you'll see I have lots of different textures. I'm going to double click on Textured Melamines, and you'll notice that I have one saved there already. Now I can go in and give this a new name. So I'm just going to call this New Name, just because I haven't named it yet. We'll go ahead and we'll click OK, and that now adds it to my library. To place a texture like that, I would first go to Variables, and under Variables, I would click on Texture. And then on the right-hand side, I would click in whatever color block I needed. Let's say that we choose a door texture. I double-click right here on the color block. I have the options of choosing generic textures, textures from the current design. You'll see here textures that I've already used in the current design, or textures from my texture library. Now, if you'll notice that I do not have any textured melamines in my uploaded library. What I can do, though, is I can search. When I click on the folder, it took me right to my textured melamines. It'll always take you to the last folder that you had entered. So let's say that we click on this melamine here and click Open. It gives me a preview of the textured melamine. It allows me to come down here and say in appearance, what would we like it to appear as? I can make this, let's say, eggshell or glossy or glazed, however I want it to be. Or I should say, and I can scale it. Now, I don't want this to be 12 inches. This doesn't represent 12 inches. This is going to represent a very large piece. We're going to make this 48 inches in size. This is the scaling that you need to do based on the material that you've imported. I'm going to go ahead and click OK. It'll simply add this now to my library, and you'll see that the doors and the end panels now have applied that textured melamine that I imported. I mentioned in the beginning that you can also do that on the tops and bottoms. Let's do that. Let's click on Browse. But this time, since I don't need to import again because I have already imported, all I need to do is go back to my texture library, find the texture, go ahead and click OK, and it will automatically apply it, top and bottom. This allows us to get that great look that you see in lots of those designs that have been entered in the Inspiration Awards. Thanks for joining me, and please check out the other helpful videos in this series.
For other great ideas, tips, and inspiration, please join us at 2020spaces.com/community.